Okay, good morning. We're here for the Veterans History Project in Rome, New York with Mr. Cordsen. It's January 6, 2018. Can you tell us your full name with middle initial for the record?
John K. Cordsen.
And where were you born, John?
Rome, New York.
And what was the date of your birth?
9942.
Okay. All right, very good. You grew up in Rome your whole life?
Except for my service time, yes.
Yeah. At what high school did you go to?
RFA.
Rome Free Academy?
Yep.
Yeah, long-standing high school in Rome. All right, let's pick it up. Just a couple basic questions. Did you have any siblings that served in the armed services as well?
Yes, my younger brother, Billy.
Okay, Billy, and where did he serve?
In the Navy.
Navy, okay, very good. We want to keep that in the record too as well, because often families have a long legacy of that.
I don't hold it against them.
Any other immediate family that served, your father or anybody like that?
No.
Okay. Great. All right, let's move right around to the time that you decided that you were going to join the armed services. Tell us a little bit about your decision as a young man to do that. You know, why?
Well, me and the judge figured going into the service was the best thing for me.
Can you tell us a little about that?
No, that was just a joke. But my dad was all for it. I went in when I was 17. And I went into the Marine Corps because that's the best outfit there is. And when I got down to Paris Island, I wondered why I had to go in the best outfit there was. Because that was... that was tough. My first time really away from home, and had all these people that really hated me. It was tough.
What year did you go in? Did you enlist?
1959.
Okay, 59. So we were in Vietnam at that time in some form, or no?
No,
not quite.
No, okay. Not. Might have had advisors there. I don't know about that.
All right.
But my first hitch, I didn't make it past Lance Corporal. That was a E3.
Let's talk a little bit about basic training. Tell us your recollections about, you know, what it was like to stand on those white footprints. And
we didn't have them.
Didn't have white footprints back then, huh?
No.
Okay.
In Ura, we never had that.
Huh.
And I'm talking about the old Corps.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. As my buddy said, he was in the old Corps. He was in there in 54.
What was your first impression when you got off the bus, or when you got there? What did they do to you?
Why me? Well, the embassy is the step-off point. When you went down by train, nobody could afford a plane to fly back then, and they had an MP standing there waiting for. Well, I was the only one that got off at the train that time. And so he brought me into the guard shack, told me to sit down, told me to stand up, told me to sit down. The bunk where he had me sit on, the mattress all coiled up at the head of the bed. And he had me sit on the springs. Wasn't very comfortable. And having been the only one that got off at that point, they had a lot to do to me. And but then eventually a bus came to take us on to Paris Island. And he had all these palm trees up and along this long road, and with water on each side. And oh man, it looked like going into the black hole. And so he had a platoon there that was forming up. We had to wait for more men to come in. And then we finally got our drill instructors yelling, screaming. He didn't, none of them had anything nice to say about you. I guess that's one time I had to go to dental, and so I went, had to cross the street all by myself, and they told me, I'm saluting the office, make sure I saluted the officers. They told me, one decal on the car would say, would be in gold with scarlet print, or that would be the officers, and enlisted would be scarlet with gold print. And while crossing the street, I had to wait for some cars to come, and I got them all mixed up, and I saluted the list of people, let the officers go by, and so I made it. Went to dental, and made it back. And one thing about, everybody was religious in boot camp. Because DI would come in on Sunday morning, he'd say, all you macro snappers, stand at attention. Stand at attention. And everybody went to church. They went because they get the extra cigarette break.
Yeah.
And
So if you didn't go to church, what happened? They put you right to work?
Yeah, they just put, when they have nothing nice to say about you, to you. Like they wanted cigarettes. There's one drill instructor we had never remembered to give us a cigarette unless it was raining. And once it started raining, he'd say, all right, smokers, grab your cigarettes and your bucket. And we knew what that was, the bucket was for. You'd go out there and you'd stand at attention, walk out, stand there. He'd say, give you the order to put your helmet on or put your bucket over your head, put your cigarette in your mouth, light it, stand at attention. You couldn't take your cigarette in and out as you puffed. And with the rain coming down, the smoke just billowed up inside the bucket. And so that was our cigarette break. But
they had an interesting way of delivering a message back there, didn't they? At Parris
yeah,
Island?
yeah. But nobody quit smoking. Everybody still went out. But yeah, that's
Back then, did they provide the cigarettes at basic training, or did you have to buy your own?
Oh, you had to buy your own.
Buy your own at the store. Yeah.
No.
How'd you do? How'd you find the physical rigors of basic training? Were you?
Yeah, it was difficult. It was. Yeah, a lot of them I had trouble staying up with. I mean, as far as push-ups and pull-ups. And here I used to play tree ring a lady. Tree ring a lady. Yeah, I can't say it. Anyways, it was tag in the trees is what it was. And whoever was it would go after the other guys in the tree, and he'd just jump from branch to branch, and like a monkey, I guess.
So you were doing that, jumping from tree to tree?
Before I went in, before I went in. And but to do what they wanted you to do, it was difficult.
You do a lot of marching? You teach that?
Marching was mostly on the parade deck, or grinder, as the old Corps called it. Because my buddy's going to watch this. He was an ex-Marine. And he swears it was a grinder, and I said, well, we call it a parade deck. But yeah, we did a lot, because that was in, for the best platoon show at the end of the year commencement. And it had to be the best in drilling, and that would be it.
Okay. All right. How was the food when you were there? They take care of you that way?
I guess. I didn't always have this, probably heard of it, shit on a shingle.
SOS, yeah.
Yeah. You call it what you want to call it, I'll call it what I want to call it. But it took me, well, till my last year in, it was over 3 years to try that SOS. And I guess must have had more hangovers than I thought I did, because it always looked like somebody already ate it. And but one day I did try it, and that was good. I couldn't believe I went 3 years without trying this, and it was so good. I had it every meal, every breakfast. It was really, really good. And that was when I was in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Navy prison. I was a prison guard. That was my last year in. So they had a good breakfast there. They even had chocolate milk. They had plates where normally you'd eat off a tray, you know, them metal trays. And there they had plates and glasses. Good food. It really was good food.
All right, so after basic, any of the drill instructors that stand out in your mind before we leave basic training, or any of the guys that you might remember their name or things that they would do?
This one, the senior drill instructor, he was terrible. Most of these guys were from Korean War, and some World War II, I guess. He was absolutely miserable, the senior drill instructor. He wouldn't say, even on our graduation day, he would not say anything nice to you. And I think that was because we didn't win the best platoon award, which, whose fault it was, ours. But the other guys, the one drill instructor, if he was on the night watch, there was always a drill instructor, and he'd be sleeping, but in his hooch, as he called it. If he was on, he'd say lights out, and he would say, "Good night, Marines." And you'd, "Good night, sir." Yeah. It'd give you a little boost every night. Normally they didn't, most of them didn't say nothing nice to you.
Yeah. All right, so where was the first stop after basic training?
Oh,
They give you any time off after basic?
yeah, I got a 30-day leave.
Where'd you do? Came back here?
Yeah, it was right. I got both Christmas and New Year's off, actually. And yeah, came home here and had a good time.
Yeah.
All
right.
Showed off my new uniform.
Looking sharp in the holidays.
Oh yeah.
Well,
proud as could be.
Well, the ladies like that uniform.
Oh yeah.
So what was the first stop when you went back? What was your first job in the Marines?
81 mortars. I take that back. It was Antos.
And what is that?
It's 106. You had 106 guns on it, and 3 on each side.
This is a vehicle?
Yeah. Motor, anti-tank weapon is what it is.
And where did you learn to do that? Did you have special training other than basic for that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was my first outfit. After the advanced training, ITR, I can't remember what ITR stands for. Anyways, it was for training, higher advanced training. They did compass and readings and put things out in the field, and they give you a compass reading.
Go find it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and stuff like that. Acting more as a team, stuff like that. Then I went to the Antos, and why they sent me there, I don't know, because they were on a med cruise, and there wasn't very many of us there. But I was there for a little while, and then they sent me to mortars, 81 millimeter mortars, and that's the we throw a round down the tube, and it comes out. High trajectory.
And give me an idea, time frame wise, what year this is, if you're moving forward.
Okay, it's probably in it would be in 1960. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I was in there for probably close to 3 years.
In the mortars group?
Yeah.
Yeah. So mostly at this point you're training and training others.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, talk a little bit. You mentioned learning how to become a team. Talk a little bit about how you think the Marines specifically gets a bunch of young high school guys to come together as a team and think and act as a team. What are your thoughts on how they actually do that? Because the Marines are famous for that.
Yeah. Well, it's starting with the drill instructors, I would say, and. Like when I went in, we had a different drill than what this is. Oh, I can't.
No, the name's not that important. Just give us a feel for how they, what kind of things they did to get boys to become men that work together.
They'd send you out at night. Again on compass. Fire teams would be the smaller squad. Squad would be about 12, 14 men. That's what I had when I was squad leader. And it'd be three-man fire teams. You'd have fire team leader, riflemen, and each fire team would have a fire team leader.
At that time, what was the primary weapon that you would carry if you were in a fire team? What model? What gun? Rifle?
M1
at the
as
time?
soon as I got out of,
The M1 of the World War II era?
yeah.
So they're still using the Garand.
Yeah, they were. And they also had World War II sea rats. That's what.
They were getting a little stale at that point, weren't they?
They were salty. Whew. But no, that was my favorite weapon. I was on a recruit rifle team. They picked like one or two from the highest shooter from the rifle team that was, or when you're at, oh boy, I can't think.
Well, I remember driving. I was at
I'm
Paris
sorry.
Island, and they as you come up to the rifle range, it says, I believe, every Marine a rifleman.
Yeah.
Isn't that the motto?
Yeah, true, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. I mean, they take cooks and they can hand them a weapon and they know how to use it. And then,
And that's another unique feature of the Marines. Some of the other services would have cooks that were pretty much just cooks.
yeah, true.
Not the Marines. Everybody could fight.
Yep, everybody.
Yeah.
And they did.
Okay. All right. So your first job was in mortars, and you said that was about 3 years.
Yeah.
About 3 years, and things are pretty. Your different assignments. Any memorable places that they would take you, or were you in the States? Where did you actually do that job?
Yeah, we made a landing for President Kennedy off a ship and to show off for President Kennedy. He was
Where'd they do that?
on Onslow Beach,
And where is that?
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, we had this one of the mortarmen had a hang around, and mortarman, he was a big, he had muscle where nobody else had muscles. he took the tube off the bipod and put it in his arms like that with a hang around in it. I don't know why he did that or even thought to do that. But he started walking up the hill to where President Kennedy was. Needless to say, somebody stopped him.
So Secret Service got a little nervous.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So after mortars, what was next after the mortar duty?
Prison guarded at Portsmouth Naval Prison. That was good duty, except that you could get burned easily even if you talked to a prisoner. They were so, the administration was so worried about the prisoner, more so than the guards that were guarding them.
What kind of crimes? Were these pretty violent
Yeah,
criminals?
some of them were not. Most of them were over the hill, and they called the place a castle, which it really was at one time a castle, and they did have a hole, in which was used.
A hole as in solitary?
Yeah, yeah, and it was used. But one time I was out on the tower guarding. I had the officer of the day come up to check my post. And walking by was some prisoners walking by, looking up at me. Hey John, hey Butch. Butch was my nickname. They were from Rome. And here I'm trying to make myself as big as possible.
Big, tough guy.
No, for the OD don't know I knew the guy. And there was no fraternizing with the prisoners. And so I see him a little while after. Believe it or not, I saw one in church. I said, well, you finally resigned yourself. But I never made no remark. He was with his wife, so I never made a remark about his being in prison.
Geez, the last time I saw you was in prison.
Yeah.
All right. Any other memories of prison guard? If not, we'll move to the next stop.
Yeah. They told me, or all of us, when we were guarding outside, that if anybody's going over the fence, you think they are, shoot them, but make sure they're over the fence. Even if you got to pick them up and help them.
Okay.
Otherwise, they're inside and you can't shoot them. And we had double up buckshot shotguns.
So you'd probably wound them, but maybe not.
Yeah, double up buck would
It's a different time, right?
do a drive. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so where'd you head next after
I
prison
came
guard?
home. That was my last duty station.
Okay.
And I came home. Worked down in Revere for about 3 years. Then went back in.
Oh, so you got out and went back in.
Yeah.
All right, that's interesting. So you were in the first time for what, about 4 years?
4 years.
4 years, and why did you decide to go back in? And what year was that when you went back in?
66.
66. So now the Vietnam War, were there advisors, or are we fighting at that
No, we're
point?
starting to fight now.
Fight, okay. So that's an interesting decision to go back. I'd like to hear what you were thinking when you decided to do that.
I was in a bar, as I usually was, and they had television there. I was watching it, and they had the news on, and they had the war on, pictures of the war. And all of a sudden it occurred to me that this is all I'm doing every night, drinking. And didn't have a girlfriend, didn't have nobody, no study, girlfriend, nothing. So I thought to myself, I better get my butt in there. And I went to the recruiter, told him I wanted to re-enlist. Okay, fine, he says, I can help you. And he says, how many years do you want to go for? I says, 2. Okay. I says, but I want to be guaranteed Vietnam. I don't want to go in and sit here stateside. I want to go to Nam. He said, how many years you want to go for? I said, 2. Man, I can't guarantee you nothing like 2. So he suckered me right back in. And he says, you got to go at least 3. I said, oh, all right. So I went 3. And my first station, I went out to Camp Pendleton, Camp Garcia.
You said Pendleton?
Pendleton.
Yeah, in California.
Yeah, California, okay, yeah. And I had to retrain, and I was about as big as I am now when I went in. And they got me back down to where I belong. Yeah. Pretty quick.
So you had picked up a little bar weight.
Yeah, but the whole battalion was nice about it. We retrained. And the whole battalion was going over. It wasn't like they sent you over and then a few days.
So you trained as a unit. Good.
Yeah, right, and which was nice.
What was your rank at this time when you went back in?
Lance Corporal, E3. Oh, I take that back. No, they took a rank away from me because I was out over 3 years or 2 years, whatever the thing was. Yeah, I had to go back in as PFC. And so they made me come the radio man. And there I had a uniform. I had one stripe here and a hash mark here. You know what a hash mark is? Oh. For serving 4 years in the service. So one black guy, but done. He called me, because I got reissued and all new, he called me brand new. That's all he called me, hey, brand new. And anyway, we go on a march out in a 20-mile march out on hills, California. And this gunny, I'd be the radio man. He says, all right, Cordsen, he says, we're on radio silence, he says. Go down and check the second platoon down there. Yeah, we'd be up on this mountain. He wanted me to go out and check this other platoon. So I go down, he's all secure. So I have to get back up the hill, run up to catch up with the gunny. He said, okay, he said, go down, check the third platoon down the other side. I had the same thing. And I had to run up to catch up with him. Anyways, I made, got company radio man out of there, which was good because you were with the command group, which was, you got a little better living than you did as a regular grunt.
Yeah.
And I served my time as a grunt. But in Wilson, after I went, I had Lance Corporal, I had Corporal, no, PFC, because I was private, no, they took one, yeah, PFC. I had to make Lance Corporal again, Corporal, and then Sergeant.
How do you qualify for promotions? What's the process to decide if you're ready?
Oh, I guess today they have a test that you take, but back then, it's overseas. I made Meritorious Sergeant, which I'm very proud of, with less than a year.
And what was the exact term? You said, what kind of sergeant?
Meritorious.
Meritorious sergeant, which means you were obviously earned it because of your good service and duties. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
then they had to make me squad leader. They made me squad leader. I had to get out of the phone.
Out of the phone business?
Yeah, yeah.
So you were at Pendleton how long? That was the retraining phase?
Yeah.
So how long did they keep you there?
Probably, I think it's about a little less than a year. I really can't remember.
Okay. So, all right.
And then we went over by ship.
So you went from California, San Diego area to where did the ship land? Did it go right to
Da Nang.
right to Vietnam?
Da Nang, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. LS.
So are you at this point? Have you regretted your decision to re-enlist, or are you pretty good with it still?
Oh yeah.
You're good with it, yeah.
Yeah.
And you said you were on an LST?
Yeah.
Now that's a flat bottom vessel.
Yeah.
Hopefully you had calm water, or how'd the trip go?
Yeah, it was LST.
Not good.
No,
How do you handle the motion sickness?
well, it was good that you couldn't drink. But it was, the bunks were about this far apart going up. I don't know, I think I was the fifth bunk. I was on top. Then you'd have all these pipes going over your face. It was hard. Then you'd have your foot locker. You'd have your, big foot locker underneath. Your sea bag, big sea bag. And they'd, you'd have your rifle. And the bunks were maybe this far apart. And this one lieutenant said, spread the news. He says that we had surprise rifle inspection in 20 minutes or something like that. So everybody scrambles down there to that small space to get their rifle and clean it. It always had surface dust or surface rust on it. And I sat back. I tried, but I sat back. I'm gonna wait till everybody gets out. So naturally, when everybody got out, there wasn't time enough to do mine. So I went up as it was and did inspection arms for him. He grabbed it. And of course, he says, what's this rust on there? I said, sir, you try to go down there in that hellhole down there and clean your weapon. I got, I don't know, I think a full week of sweeping forward and aft for my remarks.
And what rifle is it at this time? Have they changed rifles?
Yeah,
yet?
that was the M14, I guess.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah. That wasn't bad. My favorite one was the M1. I really liked the M1. I was on a recruit rifle team with it, and the M14 was a little better, or not a little better, but not bad. But the M16, that thing jammed. It really did.
Yeah, that was. You want to talk about that a little bit? I mean, that's been written up about quite a bit in history, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
I'd have to go
rifle.
into the battle if I talked.
Okay, we get great.
So you want that now?
No, let's just keep moving then. Since
Okay.
you've got some comments on it about in the battle, that would be a perfect place for it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so you land in Da Nang.
Yeah.
What time of year, roughly? What
I
season?
think it was oh, Jesus. I really can't remember. I got it down there somewhere, but I can't remember.
So give me first impressions on landing in Vietnam.
Oh, it was just not bad. Of course, you were thinking this and that, and this and that didn't happen, and just a bunch of girls with flowers and stuff. And, welcoming you ashore. Now it was just getting off the ship and getting on, and Da Nang was pretty secure. So it was bad places to go, but you didn't want to go there. So, everybody, you know what I mean by bad places to go. Yeah.
I understand.
Well,
Okay. All right, so you land in Da Nang. Did you spend any time there, or were you then just keep marching us forward in time as you recall it?
we'd stay there for the night, right in Da Nang, in the perimeter. Then later we would go out to an outpost, like guarding the bridge, getting used to the area. Yeah, like one of my buddies got killed. He went off the ship. We were out quite a ways offshore, and they took all the squad leaders off to have them go out on patrols with the people that we were taking over. The word we got was he went out on patrol with the outfit, night patrol, and when they picked up the leaves, they didn't make sure these two men were asleep or were make sure these two men weren't with them when they came back. And anyways, they got left. There was two of them. My buddy, Russ Taylor was his name, from Kentucky. They, I think it was a week or so later, they found him and his guy that he was with bound back to back and shot up and down, and then threw him in the river. That's where they found him, in the river. He was the first one that got killed. And then we went on and had different places that we had to protect. We were known as the nomads, and that's exactly what we were. The 2nd Battalion, 26th Marines. We didn't have a real home. We just went here, went there. We walked from Da Nang, pretty much walked to Dong Ha. I don't know how many miles that is, but it was long. We didn't do it at once. We did it piecemeal.
Dong Ha is you're heading north now, correct?
Yeah, right. On
And
Route,
that's fairly
Route
close
1.
to the about how
Yeah,
far?
yeah.
Close to the DMZ?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And then we got, I can't remember all the name of the villages that we went it through. There were so many of them that you couldn't pronounce them, much less remember them. You had, we went into a village, and around the villages they would have a trench, like around most of the villages, which the civilians would dig for their own protection against it, bombs, stuff like that. So it wasn't unusual to see one there as we walked into the village. But as we were a company size then, and as we got into the village, we started getting shot at. And what happened was not the MB, these were Viet Cong. They would circle around in that trench, and we were 360-degree surrounded, and we had to fight our way out. Anyway, this one, Glenn Moffat, he was my buddy. He got hit, and I saw him carry him out in a poncho. But he had his head up, and I thought he just got shot in the leg. And so I gave him a thumbs up. And that, he had a way of going home. And anyways, by the time we got done fighting with the firefight, I went out there and he was dead. Lay there and died. He got a machine gun across the groin. I didn't know that. And they couldn't stop the bleeding. And so then we went up to...
This is the first time you're encountering the enemy and casualties? Is this in your...
Yeah, kind of. I don't think it's the first time, but the other ones weren't worth mentioning. That small firefights and something you could forget about, that nobody got hit. He had then we went to, I think it was Fubai, a little further north. And I had to go to mine warfare school. It was in Da Nang. And so I went, and I came back, after like so many days of training, fixing booby traps and stuff, disarming them. And I found out Frank Thompson got shot. He took a sniper, shot him through the head. And he was a good friend. He was, the funny story about he always told was one of his favorite things to do was be in bed with his wife, lay apart and pull the blankets up over her head. That's one of his favorite things to do.
Well,
He was a good head too. He was a lot of fun.
where was he from? Do you recall?
Right. I can't remember.
That's all right.
I can't remember. I could probably tell you on that thing.
Okay. All right. So keep going forward. You good to keep going, or you need a break?
No, I'm
Good.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my first time over, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we go up towards the DMZ, Dang Ha. And then we really started losing men. We were getting hit almost every day. And
Now the base there was called Dan Ha, and that was a supply base, I believe. Correct?
Yeah.
You could tell us a little bit about the purpose of that base, the importance of it.
yeah, it had a lot of, that was the logistical supply base that would take care of Camp Carroll, Quezon, the hills, wherever they had artillery. They would take care of all their replacing whatever weapons and ammo they needed.
So from food to ammunition, everything.
Yeah, right,
That was
yeah.
the distribution
Right,
method.
yeah.
So a pretty important place.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Plus it was right after,
Was it TAP? Right after TAP?
yeah, well, no, that was on my second time over. Okay, now we're starting to go into my second time over. And we came back down and the whole battalion left Vietnam. And yeah. So then I came back,
So you came back after the first tour, which
Yeah.
is about a year.
13 months.
Yeah. And then how much time did they give you as a rest period before you came back the second time?
Probably about another 30 days, I guess.
Okay. And you came back to where, Pendleton, or?
No,
Did you get
yeah, Travis Air Force Base. And
So right around 30 days they sent you back. Did you have to go back a second time?
no,
So you volunteered?
yeah,
And things are pretty hot at this point, right?
yeah, but
Can you explain a little bit more about your feeling? Like, why did you fight, or why did you want to go back? So that people.
yeah, I came home, had my leave, and went back, and I was in charge of small weapons instructor, and never having done anything like that before, giving classes, going to get paperwork that the captain needs. I told the captain, I says, I didn't like it. I says, Captain, I said, you got to send me back to Nam. And He says, I know. He says, I feel the same way, but he says, I'm married, I can't go. And so he said, but if you really want to go, I'll send you. So he sent me. And, well, I got to California, and went out. And, supposed to have a plane leaving the next day. Oh, yeah, 9 o'clock the next day, they said. I went out and got drunk. Got back in the room about 5 o'clock in the morning. And I told the guy who was on the desk, I says, make sure I'm awake. It's 7 o'clock, I got a plane to catch. Yep, no problem. I woke up by myself, it was 9 o'clock. Oh man. So I never sobered up so fast in my life. I went to asked about the plane. He's not, too late. He left already. Oh shit, well missing movement, you can get in a lot of trouble. Mm-hmm. I said, well, what's gonna be? And he said, well, we got another one for you tomorrow if you think you can make this one. Yeah, he says, I said, you're not going to lock me up? He said, no, he says, what are they going to do, send you to Nam? Yeah, okay, you're right. And so I did make the next one. I stayed a little more sober because I was running out of money. But, so we went over, and oh yeah, I turned my papers into him. He says, looked at, so I was sergeant. And he says, good. He says, your outfit's out in the fields, and we need sergeants real bad. Well, you know what that means, right? Getting shot. Mm-hmm. So that's what that means. And so anyways, they said they had a chopper for me the next day. And so next day I go in there. And whatever time he told me the chopper would be there, I was there. The chopper was there. And I was the only one going on the chopper. I said, geez, I said, that's weird. I said, I felt pretty important, you know, outside of the crew that were on here. He says, I sat back, I was by the door, and I was looking out the door. And, I started recognizing the line. Oh, shit. This is right where I started, or ended up with the last outfit up in the DMC. Mm-hmm. And I said, I knew I was a dead man then. I said, no, they're going to get me this time. And they did pretty good. But I also went over to, we got 65 hours a month extra combat pay, which back then was a pretty good amount. And I couldn't spend my money. I did have, so I could save up. I was planning on getting married when I got back this time. And so that kind of took me over there too, having the extra money.
All right, so tell me a little bit more about what you were thinking when you were on that helicopter going back north.
Well, I got thinking when I was back in Paris Island, my drill instructor kind of had a nickname for me. He called me asshole, and looking down to see what I see now, I think he was right.
They have a way of summing things up in
Yeah.
just a few words, don't they?
Yeah.
All right, so you're that special one passenger on that helicopter going in. So where did they actually take you?
Some hill. I don't know the name of it. We weren't on it very long.
And what was the designation of your unit? Were you in the 2nd Battalion, 4th Marine at that point? Was that the
Yeah.
proper designation?
Yeah, right.
And was there a nickname for that group?
Magnificent Bastards.
Magnificent Bastards, the famous Magnificent Bastards
Right.
that has a long, long legacy in our military history.
Yeah, like all Marines.
So did you? This is where you met your team that you were going to join?
Yeah. He told me I had 3rd Squad. It was Lieutenant Lawson that I met. As soon as the helicopter touched down, he was the one. So he sent me to Lieutenant Furlan's outfit. It was the 3rd Platoon, 3rd Squad.
So you were in charge of a squad?
Yes,
And how many is in a squad?
about 14.
14. And then how many squads would come under? Would it be the lieutenant next?
Yeah, 3 squads.
3 squads. Okay.
Yeah. And so I went down, introduced myself, and we got along pretty good. Our new squad. I didn't want to get to know anybody this time. That was one of my problems. I thought I could do it. And it was kind of difficult doing.
So you're trying to emotionally separate yourself so that
Yeah,
the inevitable loss was going to be
yeah.
get it.
Yeah, especially starting off up there. I mean, but there's still hard not to do it. Getting to know everybody. But I don't know.
All right. So
We were getting it pretty.
So did you get inserted right into? Was there hostilities at that moment when you were coming in?
No,
Or
not
so
at that moment.
Were you in
but,
like a forward operating base or?
well, we were about as far as you can go below the DMZ without getting into it. But we were more above, closer than Quezon.
And you're again once again in the Don Ha area, if you
Yeah,
will. The bases.
the closest base,
Okay.
yes. But we had, going into the future, we'd have quite a few firefights. Lose a man here, lose a man there. They'd get sent to the ship, either in a bag or in a stretcher. Get a reinforcement if you were lucky. And
What were your thoughts on the enemy at that point? What was their skill level like? What were they? Tell us a little bit about your opponent.
well, now up here you fight the army, the North Vietnamese army, and down south you'd mostly fight the Viet Cong.
Tell us a little bit about the difference. You got regular army, and why were they called the Viet Cong? What was different about them?
Well, they were people who lived in the villages,
So they were more undercover, or
Yeah.
didn't wear uniforms, if you will?
Yeah, right. They have a black shirt and trousers on most of the time. But they'd hit you, and then they'd leave. You know.
Was it safe to say that the regular Army was a higher trained?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Were your expectations set properly? You know, when you were in training back in the States, they probably told you things to expect. And then when you got there, did that match up? Were they?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, booby traps was the biggest thing they tried to teach us, and well, or at least one of the biggest things. The other stuff coming with normal training, your how to move and stuff through different terrain.
Tell us a little bit about the booby traps. Any ones that come to mind that were how they set them up?
Yeah, well, one I remember real well was one I fell into a man trap. I was radio man then for the captain. And the radio about 25 pounds. Then you got the battery, it was a few pounds more. And he would, I'd be following the captain wherever he went. And this one time, well, he was always after me to zip up my flak jacket. Well, it was so hot over there that you always wanted it open to get some air in there. And he just got through telling me to zip up my flak jacket, so naturally I did. And all of a sudden they started getting hit up in front of the column. So the captain went running up there, and there was some troops on the trail, and so I went off the trail a little bit to get by them, and went into this hole, booby trap, tiger trap they call them, or man trap. And they'd have stakes about this high, and a hole, about that deep, and anyways, I fell. I had one little scratch right there.
So those were pointed stakes, correct?
Yeah.
Designed to act like a spear?
Yeah.
Was that what they called a punji stick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And they heated up, and it got real sharp, hard. And then they'd put their own feces on it.
Just to give you an infection.
Yeah. And
so you got one scratch out of all that?
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I felt myself was real lucky,
Good couple inches one way or another.
Yeah,
might have made a big difference.
really. And but they'd have could have rounds, grenades, booby trapped on your things.
Did they use mines at all? The traditional landmines?
Oh yeah. One time we had this one hill we were on. We could every day they just about mine it every day, and we'd have to go out with a mine sweep, thing to find them, a treasure finder thing, or whatever you call it. And so one day they went out to check it, and there was a hole blown in the road, and a dead body here and dead body there. Well, what we did, they must have been new at this thing, because they hooked the wires up to the battery back where they were going to set it off.
First?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was
So
kind
much for that.
Yeah, needless to say, we laughed about somebody's death. But yeah, the jungle was a hard thing.
Tell us about things that lived in the jungle that gave you trouble. Bugs, snakes, whatever.
Yeah. you mentioned.
All of those?
Yeah. One time we were walking up this trail up into the hills, or mountains, whatever you want to call them. And saw my point man, he got off the trail real fast. And everybody followed. I go, what the? Somebody up the ambush? Something? All of a sudden I see this water buffalo coming down at me. And everything's so thick, you can barely get into. And so what the problem was is that there was a little kid on top of the water buffalo. And he had a big ass log. Great big log he's bringing down. And so I remembered I couldn't shoot him because of the kid being on him. I remember back for there was a little road going the other way. So I ran back to that and went up it, and the water buffalo was coming so fast at me. He tried to make the turn, but with that big ass log on his ass, he didn't make it. He got pushed into the hedge there. Them water buffalo, they did not like us over there.
They were pretty nasty.
Yeah, one time we got a whole bunch of them that were trying to get everybody. Everybody was trying to shoot them. I thought we were going to shoot ourselves. Everybody, they were bad.
So they used them as what, beasts of burden?
Yeah, if we killed one of their kids, it cost the government $50. If you cut one of their
Water buffalo?
yeah, I think one of their water buffalo, it cost $500.
Wow.
Yeah,
That says a lot, doesn't it?
That's how they make their living. Yeah, it's,
$50 if you kill one of their kids.
mm-hmm. But
All right. Well, we were just describing a few booby traps there, and let's, if there's any more, that's great. And if not, let's keep moving on some other instances that stand out in your mind. And
well, one of the big things stands out is speaking on the booby trap. We had Campbell. He was a real smart kid. He's they were thinking about putting him in an officer candidate school. And anyway, we were moving at night, and I had the phone up to my ear, and he stepped on a booby trap. I could hear him yell, and I could hear him yelling there to this day. And but the story about it was to get these guys, I praise these helicopter pilots and gunners. It was at nighttime, and I called for a chopper for medevac. He died, but he called for a medevac, and the way we got medevac in, I don't know if you ever knew the heat tabs.
no, tell us about those.
Oh, maybe about this big. You get them in your sea rations.
So they're about 3-4 square inches.
Yeah. And you light them and you'd heat your sea rations up. They'd burn a blue. Mm-hmm. They had blue burn to them. Anyways, they got these all around for a medevac zone.
And they would see, did they have infrared?
Well, they could see it without the infrared.
So they could see the little flame by itself.
Yeah. And where it was so low to the ground, the enemy couldn't see it, going. And so the chopper come in and got the kid. But like I said, he was dead anyways. But,
and his name one more time?
Campbell.
Campbell.
I can't remember his first name. Yeah, he was a good guy.
Okay. All right. It's you can take us wherever you
Oh,
want
okay,
next.
I'm
And
sorry.
other encounters, battles,
Oh,
whatever
sorry.
whatever you'd like to talk about.
Well, I guess it's probably only been 3 months there, so you're getting firefights every day, or not every day, but at least a couple of times a week. Because we were so close to North Vietnam, and well, I guess I'd have to say the next thing would come which what is known as the Battle of Dido. We were about 860 men in the field. The MVA shot at a swift boat that was in the river. Is how we found out that the MVA were there at all. And our Colonel Weiss, was out there with another company, and went into the village, found out there was more than he thought in the village, and sent somebody else into another village, and they found out there was more in the village.
You're talking about NVA?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And so anyways, it grew into him getting his whole battalion down there, which ended up to be the 860 men. I'm sorry. So anyways, I was with a golf company. We came later in the morning on the second day. And
the dates, let's put that in the record where
okay.
the date of the Battle of Dido.
March,
or April
yeah,
28th,
Jesus.
was it?
Yeah, 29th.
Through about the 1st?
Yeah,
May?
yeah.
Okay, just to set a marker, and this is
No, the second.
the 2nd of May?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is 1968?
8,
Okay.
yes. So by the time we got in there, we went forward about 15 minutes into the attack on the village of Dido, which was about 700 meters. They ambushed my squad. I had about 8 men on the left of me and about 4 men on the right. I was in that position so I could try and keep control so that one team didn't get in front of the other teams and start shooting at each other, not knowing who was where. After 15 minutes, they started firing. They opened up fire the MVA opened fire with machine gun, and one guy come running out, saying everybody was dead in there. His arm was just about blown in two. And I don't even know who his name was because we had so many different reinforcements come in. We had a lot of artillery, about 300 rounds of artillery, according to the Marine Corps history people. I just go out and count the holes, craters. And one of my men, Ralph Peralta, took a direct hit and flew up in the air. And by the time I got in there, he didn't have no arms or legs. The back of his head was all concaved. I couldn't take time to say anything over him. Just all I had time to say was, "God bless you, Ralph. You're a good man," which he was. He was a real good man. Small in stature, but always right there with you, or for you. So I had to go on to catch up with the rest of the battalion and platoon. So we got called up, we set in for the night. They had an ammo count. Everybody counted their ammo and turned their count in, and when they divided it by the amount of men, we had about 8 rounds per man. Which you didn't really want to set in with that little bit of ammo on you.
What would be a typical, how much would you carry when you were freshly loaded up? What would it per man?
Probably about 300 rounds. Yeah.
8's not much.
No, not when you're. So with they could have, that night we didn't get any
Resupply? Or
yeah, we couldn't get no resupply.
So you were stranded to some extent? Or were you isolated?
We're with the other, every company had their own individual areas that they were set in for the night. And I can't think of where it was now. I can't think of where I was.
You were you took the ammo count and you were settling in for the night.
Yeah,
and,
8 rounds per man.
Yeah.
And so we did. I told my men not to shoot unless they were getting in the hole with them. And so naturally nobody slept that night. And we could, as it started to get daylight, we could see the men MVA down at the bottom of the hill, kind of probing our lines, but we still weren't resupplied, so we couldn't do nothing. By the time that we got resupplied, they were gone. I don't know.
How did the supplies come in? Air helicopter?
Yeah, some come in by
vehicles or?
Yeah, vehicle, armored vehicle, and some come in by chopper. So.
They used APCs quite a bit during the war, right?
Yeah. Okay, so now we head out next day. And this is the second day. I was there the third day of as the battle was told. We had about 40 men in our platoon. They sent us on the attack, the whole platoon, which was left of it, or the company. Yeah, there was 40 men left in the company. Excuse me, which was about 170 men.
So that's how many casualties of one sort or another that you had taken at that point.
Yeah.
Did you have any feel for how many were opposing you at that point, or was it just a lot?
It was just a lot. Yeah, we could you could see them coming in at you, but you didn't take,
no way to count them, but
no.
history would later show it was quite, how many would?
10,000 supposedly.
10,000 against your
860, yeah. And that was told by the Colonel Weiss went to Vietnam, and he saw the guy that was the North Vietnamese that was in charge of that
group.
sector, and he said he had everybody there, and that there were 10,000 of them. Yeah, that's what he said. And but they put them in piecemeal, just as Colonel Weiss would get his people, or whatever stuff he needed, weapons or whatever, he got them piecemeal.
So they had fresh men coming in and out of the battle. You guys were in there
as we were, yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah, right.
So now we got fatigue, hunger, other things to think about as well.
They would counterattack us. And I'd lay down there shooting at them as they came in. And as I ran out of ammo in my magazine, I had to go get another magazine and put it in. I got somebody that was looking at me, and I look over, and there's a MVA aiming in at me.
How far away was he at this point?
Nah, probably to the stove, maybe at the most.
So that's probably 12, 14 feet away from where John sits.
Yeah. And there wasn't nothing I could do. He had me, you know, and I knew I couldn't get that in chamber around. And so you just looked each other in the eye, I guess. I don't know where he was looking. I just looked him in the eye. Suddenly he got down. And as he got down, there was just enough rise in the ground that we couldn't see each other. And so I had a claymore, or not a claymore, I had a
grenade?
Thank you. Grenade in my pouch. And so I threw that just over his head, behind him, so he wouldn't throw it back at me. And so he didn't. And as soon as it went off, I got up and shot him. But I was never able to find out why he didn't shoot me. You know, didn't know if something wrong with his weapon or what. So I went on, and we went on about as far as we went. That when the colonel told us to fall back, our squad leader, excuse me, platoon sergeant came running by. I was laying there firing towards the front, and my platoon leader, sergeant, I should say, came running by. He says, "John, we gotta fall back." He says, the colonel says that we gotta fall back. And you can see the bullets at his feet coming up. It looked like, remind me of a war movie. You see the
dirt jumping?
Yeah, dirt jumping on him, and just what it looked like. He was bringing his feet up. And so anyways, I had the guy to my right, Smitty. He was a black guy. He was a good man. And I asked, we were so far apart, we couldn't see each other. With all the noise, couldn't hear each other either. And so I asked Tim as he ran by, I said, "Did you see Smitty?" He says, "Yeah." He says he took one in the throat. He's dead. I said, "Oh, shit." But the good thing about it, at least he saw him. if he didn't see him, I would have had to go up to find him, check out, whatever. And since he knew he was dead, there was no reason for me to go up there. And I could see that I was pretty much alone. Everybody had gone back, except the dead bodies and the gooks. So I was looking over my shoulder at the gooks that were still coming on. And all of a sudden my arm blew apart and shot me, knocked me down on my knee. And I was able to, with that M16, I didn't care for it. I didn't like it at all. Except if it saved my life because it had the pistol grip on it. And you could hold it up against your shoulder and just pull it and still shoot. And which I did. The guy that shot me was trying to go into the back end of a bunker, and I got him before he got in there. But, so I went back, tried to make it back to where my outfit, at least to where I thought my outfit would be. And this arm kept swinging. It'd come up, and sometimes it hit me, slap me right in the face.
So the arm got hit pretty bad. It was.
Oh, it was bone. Yeah, they had to put
Yeah.
9 inches of bone in it from my leg. They took it and put that in there. And so I kept tripping and dropping the rifle. And so finally I said, the last time I dropped it and went down, I said, hell with it. I said, well, I ain't worried about shooting any more gooks. I'm just going to try to make it back to the outfit. And so my arm, since I wasn't carrying my rifle, I just grabbed my wrist. And trudged on. And anyway, I ran into another gook looking out of a fighting hole. And I just stopped, and I could see him look up at me and smile at me. And he aimed in on me. So I just grabbed my wrist tight, and wasn't nothing I could do. I mean, I couldn't turn and run, and so I get ready. I said, it was easier than I thought it was going to be. And go ahead, Then after he aimed in, he take his rifle down, and he smile at me. I said, that is something wrong. And then he put his rifle back up, aim in, and I'd ready myself for the shot. And he put his back down and smiled at me. He did this 3, 4 times, 5 times. Finally, I says, I can't play this game. I was bleeding to death, just my arm and my lung out. And so I said, screw it. I turned around. Well, yeah, before I did that, I said, shoot me like a man, you son of a bitch. I'm a Marine. And I'm proud of saying that. I really am. I know he couldn't understand, probably couldn't hear what I was saying, but I said it to myself, and I was proud of it. And at least I could take it like a man, I thought. And so I knew I turned around and walked away from him, knowing I was going to get shot, but he didn't know just what moment or just where you're going to get shot, And that I think, was a little more troubling than face to face. And so he shot me in the right shoulder, and all I did was just go down. And I thought it was kind of weird when I went down. They had 2 holes in the ground for me, and that's weird. As I looked, I could peek. This arm was under my body like this, and this one was perpendicular. And I saw all the blood coming out of here, and I found out I knocked the axillary artery from my heart out. And I was just laying there in blood, and I thought, oh shit, I can't want to play dead, but I'm not going to be able to, or it will be. And the only way I could get up, I had to stick my head in the ground, shimmy up to my knees, and then somehow stand up without the use of either one of my arms. But I did it. I guess I wanted to, that much. And so I was able to start walking back, and I still don't know how far I had to go, but I had to. On my walk, excuse me, on my walk back, I was still holding my arm, and I heard somebody yell, "Help me, Sarge!" And I said, "Sorry, guy, I can't help you. I can't even help myself." And I looked over to where he was, where the noise came from. And I could see the North Vietnamese in there with their bayonets and shooting them. The Marines that were, from what I read in the book, there's about, or read it someplace, there's about 20 Marines that were in that trench. I know the Sergeant Major was killed in there. That's where the Colonel Weiss got hit. And that was the CP location was.
CP is command post?
Yeah. And so then I just walked back further. I don't know how far it was. And then I saw some Marines coming out to get me, thank God. And they put me in a poncho and carried me back. Got back to the corpsman. Corpsman looked at my wounds, told me I was going out with the colonel. I didn't know the colonel was hit. Went out to the river. They took me by Amtrak, I think it was, out to the river. From the river, I went up in a regular rowboat. They called it a skimmer. Had a place you could lay somebody down on. And they had about a 25, 35 horse motor on it. I could see I wasn't the first one in there because there were about 2 inches of blood floating around in there. And then there, they took me up to where they could airlift me out by chopper. And that's pretty much.
So then you were on a hospital ship, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how long I was out. I don't know. Oh yeah, then they put me on a chopper, and one of the gunners tried to tell me to stay awake, and he was the one on this side, and there was another guy on this other side. I just turned my head in time. I could see him saying, that was my arm was blown apart, And of course I knew that. But yeah, so then I woke up. I don't know how long I was out, but the doctor, everybody was there. That surprised me. So I didn't think about much at the time, but I was there. Anyways, I said, I looked at my arm. I said, "Oh, you saved my arm." And I wasn't sure if it was just wrapped up or something, you know. And they didn't want me to know I'd lost it or something. But it was still there. And he says, I said, "You saved my arm." He says, "Yeah, I think we saved them both." So this is, it gives me trouble sometimes, but it's better. I can still fish.
You can still fish. Well,
Yep.
that's good.
Yep.
Yeah. And you said you had to have a large piece of bone replaced. Did they do that there at the ship, or was
No,
it somewhere?
in Syracuse.
Okay, so that was done later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, large. That was from my leg, the second bone you got down there. I can't remember the name of it. And they put it up in there. Oh,
So that's where the bullet came through the arm and then lodged in your chest, you had said?
yeah.
And it's still
in my
there,
lung.
correct?
Yeah, right.
It's still in your
my
lung.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway,
And then there's a fairly famous picture in the book that we see over your shoulder where you were in a stretcher, a couple stretchers down from Colonel Weiss.
yeah,
Right, which we'll show in the video as well.
yeah.
Okay. So that's the battle for Dido.
Yeah.
Any other recollections of men that didn't make it, or would you like to briefly discuss the two men that were awarded the Medal of Honor? We can take it anywhere you want to take it at this point. We're going to at least name them for the record.
Yeah.
So who were the two?
Shoulder press. Captain Livingston was with Echo Company. He got Medal of Honor. Captain Vargas was my company commander. He got the Medal of Honor. I don't even remember anybody asking me if I wanted one.
So one battle, one 3-day battle, 2 Medals of Honor.
Yeah.
Which to some extent, you know, when you tells you about the magnitude of the battle. First you have 10,000 men going up against 860 Marines.
Yeah.
And any typical Marine would say that's a lot of other guys, but we can
Yeah.
handle it.
Yeah. Well, as Justy Puller said when he told him that he's the
He's a very famous Marine.
Marine. Yeah. But he was in Korea. He told me he was surrounded. His answer back was, "Good, we got him where we want him." He ain't gonna get away this time. He didn't drink, but he wanted to put beer in the barracks. That tells you something. He is a religious man.
Okay, so you're on the hospital ship. Where do they take you to for your recovery and care?
Well, the hospital ship was on there. I don't even remember how long. But then I went to Japan, and Japan, hospital ship had to just sew the arm up, get the breathing started, lung up, I believe, and they had to stop that. Cut the artery out, because they took the vein out of my leg here and put it up in the artery. Then they took tendons out of my wrist on the bottom and rolled them over the top so I could pick my fingers up. Before I couldn't. Then my wrist and everything would be down like this. I couldn't, and they thought the little finger would come up by itself but they didn't include it, and it didn't. didn't work, but that's,
All told, how many times have you had to have surgery as a result of these?
I don't know about, I think she's counts 16, I think, 'cause between and everything, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's
I
been,
was in the, they released me from the hospital and 4.5 years, November, I don't know, that's, yeah, I spent 4.5 years as
in the hospital?
in the house, in and out, outpatient, going in for surgeries, and when
All here in this area in Syracuse, VA?
yeah,
Okay, and for the record, the Syracuse VA is probably about 40, 45 miles from where we sit.
yeah.
Yeah, as we're here in Rome. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was happy with the VA.
Okay, we're going to move to the reflections section of the interview, and I'd like to know what your thoughts are on your wartime service. How did it change your life?
Well, naturally it did change my life because of being shot in both arms. I couldn't play catch with my boy, or I couldn't throw. I could put a mitt on. I still have problem putting gloves on. I can't get a glove that I can put on easily. The only thing I can do good is dishes. The wife told me that would make them more limber. So I do dishes every night almost. But it helped getting shot. My little girl, the youngest, when she got her check for going to school, college, she'd say, "Now aren't you glad you got shot, Dad?" And I'll respond, "Yes, I'm glad I got shot because it did help my kids." And I'm proud I've got something I can say I gave to America.
You were part of something bigger than yourself, for sure.
Yeah. And
I asked you as a young man why you signed up, and now as a much older man, what are your thoughts on why you fought? Pretty much the same, or any different perspective on it?
No, I do the same. I wish I could have went to Iraq and stuff. My buddy, Mike Caparelli, my best friend, I should say, he went in 1954, and he's, I forgot what I was going to say.
Did he retire out of the Marines?
No, he was at 4 years. But yeah, he wrote a letter to whoever the general was up in charge of Camp Drum to see if there was anything he could do to help out with the war. And they wrote him, "Thank you very much, but." And but at least he wanted to do it. He knew he's in good shape too. He's 80 years old and he works out.
That's the true heart of a veteran, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, he's he always says I went in the Marine Corps because he was 5 years older than I was, and I watched him walk down the street with his dress blue uniform on. And all the women were running behind him. So that's why I went in. I told him, I said, "You'd have been a good commander, platoon commander. Yeah, you would have been a good squad leader." He's GE, retired from GE, and he did a lot on radar stuff for the military.
Yeah.
So,
What was the homecoming like when you came back, how did you
With no homecoming.
just kind of?
Yeah, we'll come in. Well, my homecoming was, it was a hospital this time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What'd your mom and dad say to you when you got back? I mean, first time your mom saw you, what were her?
which time?
When? Well,
The first time I come back or the second?
either. Whatever.
For more, be
Yeah.
more, yeah. Yeah, they came down to Arlene, she was my fiance, and my mom and dad and my little sister came down to St. Albans Hospital. It's a Navy hospital. And they were out in the waiting room. And from what they said, that the nurse came down before I did to tell them that it was going to be me coming down the hall, since they may not recognize me because I lost so much weight. Well, you saw the pictures over there. And but I don't know how long I stayed there. And I lose all track of time, I swear. I don't.
Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on the Vietnam War. It was a much different war than the previous wars.
Not much from. I don't know. You don't know whether you. Geez. Don't know whether you did right or wrong. That's the only problem. I don't know. And I didn't do no killing of innocent civilians that I know of. Usually if a village is holding BC, Viet Cong, everybody in there is Viet Cong. And like they say, they owned the night and we owned the day. And they had so many escape routes. It was something.
That was their homeland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody could beat them. I mean, with all the people.
Yeah.
I mean, they bombed their Ho Chi Minh Trail. They'd bomb it and bomb it and bomb it. And
Keep rebuilding it.
every woman, child, man, everybody just right there to patch it up.
Were you exposed to Agent Orange that you know of?
I don't know. Not that I know of.
Okay.
I've been on hilltops that there was no vegetation whatsoever, but whether it was from bombing or Orange,
Okay.
Agent Orange, you don't know.
Yeah. Any this interview will be viewed by your family or future people that are thinking about going into the service. Any message to the future kids, I guess, young people that would consider going into the service or the Marines?
Yeah, I think any service, I think, would be good. I think everybody should go into at least 2 years. Everybody, man, woman, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It just did so much to me to grow me up and get me on the straight, narrow road. And I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with going into the service. I don't. And the Marines I love the Marines, but it's the best outfit there is, as far as I'm concerned. But I wouldn't want my grandson going. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which he did think about it one time.
Yeah. How many kids did you have?
He had 4.
4 kids, and then how many grandchildren?
Oh, we got 8 a great-grandchild even.
Mm-hmm.
7 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. Getting old. And we married late.
Well, you weren't married when you came back, correct?
No.
So your wife,
Yeah.
your fiance at the time,
Yeah.
and you got married. When did you get married?
In August of '68.
So pretty much when you got back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the reason being is she couldn't find anything out at the we planned on getting married later than we did. But she couldn't find anything out because we weren't married. She wasn't next of kin to me.
So they couldn't tell you?
And so we got married and she come back.
And you're still married?
Yeah, 50 years this spring.
Yeah.
50 years.
That's great. What
to you, it might be.
His wife's in the other room.
Yeah.
Anything else you think we should add to the interview? Things that have come to you that maybe happened anywhere along the way that we want to put in the record? Because again, this is going to go into the Library of Congress and be there as long as there's a Library of Congress.
Well, at least I didn't think dying was going to be so bad when I got shot. Second time especially. I didn't say this the first time. But when I laid down on the second shot that got me, everything, I looked around, I don't know exactly when it happened, but I laid there and there's a war going around. Small arms fire, rocket fire, mortar fire, ours, theirs, air fire, artillery. It was so noisy, and yet when I fell down, I couldn't hear. Everything was peaceful. I couldn't believe how peaceful it was. And that's why I was getting ready to die. I said, I told this dying ain't so bad. It really wasn't. I was tired, I was exhausted. And all you had to do was close your eyes, go to sleep, and that was it. And yet, then I started hearing a noise again, and
but you got back up
something
anyway.
got me, yeah. The only way I could get up was I stuck my head in the ground, shimmied up to my knees, stood up on my feet, grabbed my arm, and walked on in.
The will to live was strong.
And I guess, yeah. And knowing my girl was waiting for me back home. And I didn't care if I lived or died for a while, but having her as a wife and having my children and seeing their children made living so worthwhile. It really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a doubt.
Yep.
Well, I'd like to ask this one final question. We always travel with an American flag. What does the flag mean to you?
Well, as I think I proved, I would give my life for it. I think it's terrible, some things that people do to it, even Americans. They should be, I don't know. I guess they can do what they want to do. Don't let me see you doing it. That's all I can say.
And for the record, in this period of time, certain members of the National Football League have decided to disrespect the flag.
I was thinking about that.
During the playing of the national anthem, and I think Mr. Cordsen is referring to that concept.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I agree very much with you. So let's finish with this. As the witness to war, you've seen much and traveled far, and a grateful nation thanks you for your service.
Well, I thank you. And thank you for this filming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Didn't think I was worth that much to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.